What's up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live top of this upcoming UFC 257 DFS fight card featuring the headliner of Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. So, before we begin and break down this amazing card, hit the like button for me, subscribe to my channel, it helps me a ton, as y'all know. And the link to the Discord will be below, and also the Patreon, which you can see my detailed fight breakdown, the cheat sheet, and so on and so forth. Basically, just breaking down this card even furthermore. So this is a hell of a card, so let's dig right into it. Start off with the main event. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. The rematch. So basically, this is the main event. This is going to be a great fight. It's going to be all up to basically Conor McGregor. The UFC wants Conor McGregor to win this fight, which that's who I think is going to win this, but it's going to be a tougher fight than we expect. So I don't see how Conor loses this fight. He's going to come in guns blazing, basically proving the UFC who he is and why he is king of the UFC. On the other hand, Dustin Poirier has a lot of heart. I think that Dustin Poirier does have the gas tank to last 5 rounds. We don't know if Conor McGregor can last 5 rounds, but I think the mentality will kick in for Conor McGregor to basically do that. So Conor has made a lot of improvements basically in his layoff. He improved his ground game. The ground game is looking amazing, to be honest with you, and that's the main piece of this fight is going to be on the ground. Once this fight hits the ground, it's going to be Conor's fight to win. I think Conor has the power basically behind the punch to win this fight. I don't see how Dustin Poirier stands a chance, even though he has the heart to basically be in the ring with Conor McGregor. Once again, I'm all in on Conor McGregor. I'll have his price tag at 9,100. He's going to be one of the top options I pay up for. I think we need this main event in all pieces. Going on to the co-main event, Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. So this is the co-main event. Chandler's coming into the UFC, basically coming from Bellator. He's basically an all-around amazing wrestler. We've seen him in D1 college, basically an all-American wrestler. I think that's underrated, in my opinion. I think he's a freaking athlete, and I think he has basically proved the UFC that he belongs here from Bellator. So I can see why people want to get to the name value of Michael Chandler and basically bet against Dan Hooker. I see how people want to be different, but the chin is the issue for Michael Chandler. That's what I'm worried about. I think Dan Hooker packs a huge power punch and can easily knock out Michael Chandler. He can clip him. Michael Chandler is not used to basically these guys in the UFC, and Dan Hooker's a tough test to start off. So I'm leaning more towards the Dan Hooker side. I'm liking Dan Hooker. I like that he is the age, basically the age improvement from Michael Chandler. Chandler's getting up there in age. I'm all in on Dan Hooker. Give me Dan Hooker. On to the next fight, Jessica Eye versus Kendall Wood. This is not a great fight. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't like this fight. This is a female fight, Jessica Eye versus Kendall Wood. Kendall Wood kicks have looked good. Plain and simple, I like her kicks. I think she's easily the favorite. This is just a tough fight for me to basically break down, guys. I don't like breaking down female fights. They just don't score as many points as the males, which that's why I'm basically not focusing on this fight. If it was a Ronda Rousey type, then I would be basically different. But given this is Kendall Wood and I too, basically not great prospects, I'm not really on this fight, to be honest with you. So from a betting perspective, you can get to Kendall Wood. Like I said, the kicks are going to basically knock out and DFS wise, I'm not really getting into this matchup whatsoever. Let's go to Farola and Azatar. So this is a great fight. I'm plain and simple. I like this fight a ton. I like the prices on both these guys. So Azatar has huge power, and the training has been good, so good for him. I like that he's been training on the striking. The striking is there for him. Farola has basically a bad chin, which Azatar could definitely clip him. I think that Azatar is easily going to knock out Farola, but I wouldn't count Farola out basically to keep this fight in the game, basically based on the grappling. So if you want to go with a punt play with Farola, I wouldn't blame you, but I'm on the more so on the Azatar side of the knockout. Going to Amanda Ribas versus Marina Rodriguez. So this is another great fight. I like this female fight more so than the Kendall Wood and I fight. Ribas is a huge price tag. Rodriguez is coming in on a short notice, but people are taking her for granted. Rodriguez has looked good. She's no pushover in the UFC. I like Rodriguez a ton. I think she could easily upset Ribas, but I'm not betting against Ribas. I can't do it. I like Ribas basically to get her on the ground and out grapple her. Give me Ribas at 9,200. But if I had to pick, I'd rather get to Conor McGregor at 9,100 than Amanda Ribas. Going to the undercard. So let's talk about the Hasparek. fight. So Hasbrak is 7,300 versus. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I know I'm going to mess up the name. We're just going to go with TSR. So TSR basically 8,900 versus Hasbrak, which is 7,300. This is a good fight. I'm not going to lie. I like this fight a lot. These are two basically young prospects that are basically in their prime. So let's talk about this fight. Both guys are young prospects that I like. TSR is super fast with a striking accurate and also basically an all-around polished fighter. The problem is, though, Hack has power, but the chin is the issue with him. I could see why you want Hack basically based on the power to outstrike him with the grappling side. But I'm taking the grappling side of TSR, which that's why I like him at 8,900. He's definitely a pay-up option I'm looking at. The chin worries me basically of Hack, so I'm more so on the TSR side, but this is definitely going to be a juicy fight, plain and simple. Let's talk about the Tabares fight. Going on to the Tabares fight, let's find that one on the undercard, which would be Carlos Jr. versus Tabares. Okay, so Tabares, 8,700 versus Carlos Jr., 7,500. So Jr. needs to get Tabares to the ground. That's where this fight's going to be, is on the ground and on the grappling side. So Tabares is an experienced fighter. I'm not going to lie. He's very experienced. I mean, the record sees it, plain and simple. So both guys are coming in on a long layoff, which I think this better basically makes Tabares better, plain and simple, because of the experience. I think he has more experience than Carlos Jr. So I'm taking the Tabares side. I wouldn't blame you if you want to go with Carlos Jr. This is a fight for Tabares, though, I think, to outstrike, outgrapple, basically all around outclass Carlos Jr. Sarah Mccann versus Julia Pina. This is another great fight. It's a female fight. Don't count out Molly Mccann. Plain and simple. I will not count her out. I know this is a close fight in basically the price range. It's going to be an interesting fight, but don't not count out Sarah Mccann. This fight needs to get to the mat where Mccann will excel. If this fight stays on the mat, this is Mccann's fight to win. I'm all in on Mccann. Give me Molly Mccann at 8,200, plain and simple. I'm not going against Pena. I'm not going against Mccann. I'm all in on the Sarah Mccann train. Roundtree versus Patricio. This is another great fight. Like I said, guys, this is a great card in my opinion. I like this card a lot. So Roundtree, the knockout power is unreal with him. The power in his punches is crazy, in my opinion. Perchano has no chance to even stand in the ring with Roundtree. I like Roundtree a lot. He's talking about retiring back in the day, but now he's back into it. The power is still there for him. He's a hell of a striker, hell of a power puncher. I don't think Patricio stands a chance in this ring. This is a round one fight, plain and simple for Roundtree. I'm paying up for him. Give me Roundtree, plain and simple. Lynch versus Ilabov. Let's find this fight. Going on this fight. So we know Ilabov. We've seen him before. We know the name sounds familiar. I mean, we saw him against Grundy, Barlozo, everything. We remember him. He's a good fighter, but is he worth the 9,400 price tag? Not in my opinion. I don't like that. Basically, that price tag. I think Lentz is going to give him a run for his money. He's an experienced fighter. I think this fight goes past round one, which I don't think Ilabov is going to pay out that price tag. This is all around, guys, just a cross-off fight, in my opinion. Let's move on. Going to the Zimlog fight. So 8,300, 7,900. So this is a close fight on the betting end. Zimlog basically is an accurate fighter. He's all around polished, ready to go. The experience is there for him. The resume is there for him. I think he beats Albazia, plain and simple. I like the 8,300 price tag on him. Give me Zimlogov at 8,300. First fight of the night, Sanchez versus Marotta. So 8,600, 7,600, basically two different price tags. The cardio for Sanchez is the problem that make it past round one. I don't think he will. I don't think he stands a chance making it past round one, which is why I like Marotta basically on the wrestling and grappling side. I think he out wrestles him. And basically this just gets this win, plain and simple, in my opinion. I like him a ton. So that pretty much wraps it up for me, guys. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me a ton, as y'all know. Have a great and safe rest of your day. Have a good one, everybody.